following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
What's up?
What's happening?
What you doing?
I'm doing good. How was your weekend?
It was a weekend. It's Ohio out, so like warm, nice, mediate, intermediate, and then today.
Yeah. I had to spend my weekend in Indiana. It was fun. Reptile shows galore.
I've heard that it's more of a hole than Ohio, but I have yet to be proven wrong on that or be proven on that, so we'll see. But I've heard a lot more fun, a lot more mud parks, a lot more fun over there in Indiana, so I have to get over there.
Mm.
And the Sweetwater is over there as well.
It is, yeah.
I have yet to be there.
Potholes in Indiana are insane.
That I have heard about, yeah.
They were like 4 foot deep. Cars had to stop. It was crazy traffic, and all of a sudden you have to stop and maneuver, or else you're going to lose your car in the damn hole. It was insane.
Do they have snow still over there?
No, all the snow's gone.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a fun time. GPS decided to try to kill me, and it was dark, and I made a turn, and there was no road, just cement blocks, and they just appeared out of nowhere, and I'm like, fucking Jim.
Did you hit them?
No.
Okay.
Fast lightning skills,
Right, yeah. The Roxy Racer, is that?
Yep, Roxy Racer.
Awesome.
There was the time.
I think we can all say we had one of those times. Some of us might have people that might be listening that we don't want to confess to, but yeah, we've all been there.
So what's up, RA Nation? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, man. Been
W4CY Radio.
I feel like it's been a minute, since we only do the shows like on Mondays. I feel like, oh man, I miss you guys. Like I haven't talked to you in forever. Yeah. So I did find out legitly though, Roxy, that I was getting suppressed there on social media. So that's why we weren't reaching anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Social media is always doing stupid shit like that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Trying to hold Antman down. But so it's been fun. We have a killer week. I want to shout out first and foremost, man. I was following our guests following this evening, and I had a chance to check out all the love and support this gentleman has, Mr. YNG Zuck, on social media. I was scrolling through Twitter and Instagram mainly. After he posted today that he's going to be on the show, he had lots of love and support throughout the course of time. And that is the exact thing that we're talking about when we talk about hustle, hard work, loyalty, and really not treating the fans as fans, but more like family.
Yeah, that seems to be a preceding engagement that we talk about here on RA Nation, treating everybody like family. And that's, we want to exhibit that as well. But that's a bold thing to do. It's a strong move for a band to be able to do that, or a musician or artist, to hold that engagement with their fans to the point where they're considered family.
I think genre, and depending on if you're a 1 person or a 5 person, I think when you're talking about solo acts, you're talking about 1 person, 1 artist. Even when you say 1 artist and a producer, that's still more than 1. And so I think when you're talking about doing the solo work, like you have to put yourself out there. Like today, man, you had to put yourself out there back in the day. We all remember those days of pushing those tapes and walking those streets. But there's a whole nother side today to the game. And I feel like nowadays the millennials and the young ones are all like, hey, look, they can see easier through the bullshit. Like we could see through the bullshit, but I think they see beyond the bullshit.
Oh yeah, definitely can agree with that. Some things change, some things don't.
Yeah, right. And if they don't change, they like evolve into a suitable situation where somebody else can grow. And I think that that's something that needs to absolutely happen these days. What's going on, Megan? What's going on, Dave? Thanks for coming in, hanging out. We have a bunch of people in the chat, man. I encourage all y'all to throw your comments in, questions, all that stuff. Share this out using hashtag Music Familia for Life if you don't mind, so we can get some people involved in the conversation.
There we go. And standout serpents tonight. I don't have a special critter for you tonight. It was
That's when you need to have Kirk pop up and be like, brought to you by, and have him pop up real quick.
That would be something. Oh goodness. We did acquire a 16-foot reticulated python today, so it was interesting.
How does that come? Like in a box, on an airtight box, or like with holes in it? Like how do you receive a reticulating python of that size?
Your packing container, like the Tupperware tubs,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put some holes in there and you're good to go. They're not airtight, so some have the locking lids, because you're definitely going to need a locking lid if you have a snake that size. That's capacity.
Did you weigh him?
No, it's really hard to weigh a snake, especially that long.
That's fair.
We can put them on our scale's too small for the tub.
Can you tell I don't have a snake?
Yeah, you need to put it on scale. Standout serpents, get yourself a snake.
Yeah, man. Oh, so I got Pitbull fur on my microphone. I don't know how I managed to do that, but so fun night tonight, man. We have Mr. Young Zuck in the building tonight. I want to give a shout out to Standout Serpents, WC4Y,
and Top 4 TV.
Yes, and let's get our awesome guest in here tonight.
Yep, Young Zuck is with us tonight. What's happening, Zuck?
Yo, how we doing?
Hey. So you look like you're chilling in a pretty awesome spot. Where you at?
I'm downstairs in the patio studio right now. We got like a podcast studio where we hold all of our interviews. So I figured it was the good spot to do tonight's show.
Nice. I love the lighting there.
Thank you. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here with us.
Awesome time, man. I've been enjoying your music for like the last week and a half, actually, since I knew you were going to be on the show. I've been checking out your music, man. And I got to say, dude, you're handing it to them these days, man. So it's nice to see somebody out there young and have knowledge.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Especially recently, I felt like I've been really surrounding myself with people that, have really been in the industry for a tremendous amount of time. And I've been really trying to focus not so much on the influencer scene and the smaller scene, but the much larger scene with people that, really have an idea and an understanding of the industry and, who've been around for 50 years and who can, tell me great advice and point me in the right direction. And that's mainly, kind of the main contribution to my success I found recently. Is just, breaking away from just that small group and really opening up everything to, getting new ideas and all that great stuff.
I like that you're utilizing other resources that aren't in such a tight group. I love to hear that. There's definitely some good advice out there from people who've been there and have played the game. That's cool.
Yeah, I definitely got to attribute that one to my manager. He kind of definitely broke my mind of, staying in that circle and pushing more to an old school traditional route instead of, the newer age of everything. So I definitely, I like that route we're going right now. So.
Awesome. we're gonna break the ice here. We got a lightning round that we're gonna do, and what we're gonna do is ask you some questions, and you're just gonna spit out some answers for us. And so no pressure, just have fun.
All right.
So, question 1: who would you love to share the stage with?
Lil Mosey
All right. Top album, favorite album.
of all time.
Yep.
Something probably by the Grateful Dead. I like all of them. I couldn't say I have a top album, but I like almost all of them. Like
Nice.
about equally the same.
If you could play an instrument that you don't currently play, what would you decide?
Electric guitar.
Nice. And best advice you were ever given?
To always be myself.
Nice. And this one is, I don't know, I was going to ask, do you have any tattoos that somebody doesn't know about? But that one's out the door.
I actually just got some new ones yesterday, and like the day before that.
Oh, yeah? You got
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
got
them.
my whole leg actually done in one sitting, my whole bottom leg.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. 14 hours.
Oh,
Once
wow. You pulled through the whole thing, the whole 14 hours?
I sat through it all.
Yep.
Not enjoyably.
No, but the final product is always good, you know, and the idea that you don't have to roll out of bed and go back in a couple days. It's all done.
Yeah, that's my one friend kept telling me that the will is worth it. So I just kept thinking that to myself that, you know, I just got 5 more minutes.
I bet so I only have one tattoo, but I bet going back after sitting there through it, I bet it's all tender and it hurts even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it probably hurts worse the day after than I would say, you know, actually getting it. In my opinion, or trying to sleep more like, you know, you get like 3 hours of sleep because you wake up and your leg's killing you. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. I got all my tattoos to give me inspiration and, you know, being able to look at stuff that I like and you know, things that mean a lot to me and like family and my goals and things that I'm passionate about, you know, being able to look at it every single day is why I got it. And it just reminds me, you know, stay on course and stay straight. And my goals are, and everything I want is on me and I see it every day. So
are there any tats that you do have now that you're like, I wonder what those will look like when I'm 70? Because I have those. I have a couple. I'm like,
Not all of them, I would say probably now because I'm only 22 and I only started getting tattooed like 2 years ago. But my tattoo artist said like if every like 5-10 years, just, you know, touch them up. So
yeah, it's a fine wine, baby.
Yeah, just one day out of 5 years, I could take that.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Do you have any that you regret getting?
Nope, not one.
Awesome.
Keep it that way. Yeah, that's a good track record, bud. Keep it up.
I'm gonna try.
No drunken nights of deciding to go get tattooed.
No. No.
Only girls are like sisters, cousins, moms.
Yeah, my mom would not be happy. She's not happy already. So.
So well, let's talk about that, Zuck. So you're 22. You just turned 22, as a matter of fact. And you know, so where in this does the family fit in for you?
No, my family's back on the East Coast. They live in a small town called Hershey. I have a brother who's in high school, who's a senior this year. But I've always kind of been, you know, like a pretty independent person. Even when I went to school about 3,000 miles away. So ever since I was 18, I always wanted to get out and go, and I'm a people person. So I always wanted to go see everything and do stuff and make memories. So I was always far away. So I only really ever get to see my parents probably like a couple times a year, maybe 3 times a year. But I do talk to them. I have a good relationship with them. They're really supportive, but I have my thing going on, and they understand that, and they have their own thing going on. But the support has always been there. They always want the best for me. So
Right on. That's cool, man. That's awesome that you're able to balance that with your family. I know, sometimes it's either all or nothing in some cases. So it's really awesome to see somebody have that support and still have that distance there, So I feel like there's a whole bunch of growth that's able to happen with that.
Yeah, definitely add some encouragement, especially I would say I've never, ever had any issues with it. They never, pushed anything against me, and they've always been supportive. On all sides of my family, it's great when I have, my grandma who's 75, and she texts me and she's saying that she watched my new music video and she's read this article and that comes out. So it definitely adds some, positive reinforcement when you have people behind you and people that are especially rooting for you on your team and on your family and your friends, and it makes it, easier to keep going for sure.
That is awesome. That is definitely great, especially from someone you might think that might not be rooting for you. Like, I know if my grandma got me, like, I don't know, she'd be like, no, you a woman, you stay in house and you cook and you clean, no. Like, she would
Old
not be it.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's old school right there,
she
man.
wouldn't be all about me being on any
We don't have any business being out there. No, so when you sit back and you look at it, man, 2022 and where we have been in the last just couple of years, and you look at all of this, and I want to throw this at you because I want you to know I've done my homework, man. So break it down for everybody. The terminology, you never give up.
Mm-hmm. So the terminology "you never give up" comes from the YNG, and that's something that I always have been super driven for, especially recently. That really reinforced. I actually watched a Netflix documentary series. It was called Everest, and it really actually inspired me. And it talked about this guy named Nims Persia who climbed 14 peaks, all 14,000 feet, and that was just something that he always said in the document, which is something that I always said before that. But when I watched it, it was like the two just connected together, and like I don't know, I've always been a hustler. I've always been someone who works hard, fights through adversity, and just puts my nose down and just really grinds. So I put the "you never give up" because I don't take no. I won't take no for an answer. It might be no now, but that no now will be a yes maybe in a year from now, or 3 years, or it could be 10 years. But I'm not gonna stop until it turns into a yes. So that's where the "you never give up" part comes from. And then the Zuck, is just from my last name, Zuckerman. My dad's nickname was Zuck. My little brother gets called Zuck. I was called Zuck. So it just felt right, to have that.
Carrying the family. Yeah, carrying family.
Nicknames, I can only imagine when.
Oh yeah, right on, man. I can respect that totally.
definitely. Zuck, so I don't. I'm having a brain fart. I'm having a brain fart. We were talking about the red carpet event, and I was trying to think of the fella that makes the fashion, the designer of the clothes.
Oh, Jacob.
Yes, tell us about that and
Mhm.
having that jacket. That jacket was stellar.
Yeah, shout out Jacob and For the Stars Fashion House. I got honestly, I met him one day, just going down Melrose, which turned into a relationship that I'm super grateful for, and it just, yeah, I had the event on the 14th for Valentine's Day. I released and played a couple songs. I didn't release, but I played a couple unreleased songs that I've been working on with my engineer and this new project that we've been really working on for the last probably 6 or 7 months. So I played 3 songs through that. I got to, get designed and dressed up and some awesome clothes that he provided. And all around was a great night. There was a lot of great acts there. Akon was there, a lot of great other big people in the industry, good food, and yeah, overall it was a great time. I was super grateful for the opportunity to
Yeah.
show everyone what I had.
So you did 3 songs off the upcoming album.
Yes, I did. I did 3 songs off of it. I just want to give everyone a taste. I didn't want to put too much or too little. So I felt like, about a good like 10 minutes or so, really kind of got to, give an idea and kind of leave people a cliffhanging note, like what's next, what's more. I want to hear more.
What kind of feedback did you get?
I got great feedback.
What's that?
Yeah, I got great feedback. It was a overall great experience for sure.
Do you have any surprises on this upcoming album?
I do. I have a lot of big surprises, probably from people that a lot of people know in the industry. So I can't tell too much about it yet, but I have a lot of big
There's
stuff
always
coming.
in a corner that's like, don't you say a word.
Yeah,
Don't
a lot
say
of, I have a lot of, I have some features for sure. It's not just a solo project. I got about a good 4 or 5 at least I can think of off the top of my head. So it's definitely gonna shock a lot of people for sure.
I'm excited for it. You've been putting out some really great material. Your lyric writing skills are phenomenal. You're great at the storytelling. I'm blown away with how talented you are. I do have a question from someone here. They want to know if you're ever going to plan on doing merch. Megan wants to know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna do a merch drop. That I think that just entails with the album and the whole concept of everything that we've been doing. I felt like I haven't been able to show a lot of stuff because I had to do a lot of stuff on the back end first to set me up for success, which it's hard to explain to a lot of people because everyone just wants to see a product, but no one really knows like a lot of the work that goes into the product. They just see the product that's being put out. So like I'm not releasing, or it's not going, obviously I wouldn't want things to go as fast as they can go. But yeah, that definitely is just going to tie in with the album and everything. And like I said, I've just been doing a lot of back end stuff. So I've still, been releasing stuff, but I've been focusing on that more just to set me up so we can just go and not have any hiccups in the road, get rid of all the hiccups now. So it's just smooth sailing after.
There you go. Nice.
Zuck, when you sit down, man, in your head and you're with your notepad or your iPad, wherever you take your notes and do your thing, we all have our different vibe spots, our creativity zones. What for you, what do you feel like differentiates you from other artists in 2022 coming out of a pandemic and going into a summer like what we're about to have, with everything reopening and get back into it? Where do you think that sets you apart from everybody else?
I think with my songwriting, especially, I feel like that's one of the strongest things that I have to put on the table. Like writing a song for me is like sometimes it takes me like 15, 20 minutes and I'm busting. It's just all depending on my vibe. Like I have to be in zone. I have to feel some type of way. It could be at 8 o'clock at night randomly and I'm doing something and it's like, okay, yeah, right. Now I have the energy. It's just super sporadic, spur of the moment. When I feel like, I have ideas and things. And sometimes when I'm writing, I find myself being repetitive and it's like, okay, I need to, go out and live and experience new things and take in new things so that I can write things that people relate to. I like to write things not only from my personal experiences, but things that other people can relate to, especially because if people can relate to it, then they're probably going to listen to it. So if I can relate to it and I'm a 22-year-old kid who's gone in college, who likes, partying and working hard and, knows the struggle about all that stuff. And so like, I've been there, I've done that. And I'm on the path now where it's like, dang, I'm focusing on my career while still being in school. So like I have a lot of different perceptions of that I can give. So I just try and, give something that anyone can relate to. Especially not only if it's not just for me, not every song that I write is something that's happened in my life, but it might be something that's happened in someone else's life. So if I can maybe describe that situation that they had, then it will probably bring them into it.
Love it. Kayla says it's always better to take your time and make sure everything is how you want it to before releasing it. Definitely. I wanted to ask you about video calls because you do video calls with your fans, correct?
I do. We do Zoom calls. They have the option of doing Zoom calls if they would like to.
The world is evolving, definitely. The technology is insane to be able to do that. That you're able to sit down one on one with them. It's really cool that you take the time to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to, especially, if they're willing to go out of their way to, buy a Zoom call and want to connect with me one on one. I feel like I owe it, especially to my fans. It gives it a more personal experience, that I'm just a person, they're just a person. Everyone has this persona and this idea that, Justin Bieber isn't doing the same thing that me and you are doing right now on this radio talk show. Like everyone goes to bed, everyone wakes up, brushes their teeth. Like everyone has this idea that these celebrities aren't normal people. So to be able to, connect and have Zoom calls, that makes it, more personable, not only to my fans, but just to, everyone, especially with my TikTok. I'm like making funny videos. I don't usually use my music video. I just, like showing that I'm also a normal person at the same time as a musician, and that like I can be myself and I'm not worried about what other people are saying or what they have to say, because I've already been there and I've done that. So like, yeah, I definitely like the idea of being able to connect with my fans. I go live, like at least 4 or 5 times a week on my TikTok page, where I talk to like thousands of my fans a night, and we have games, and I do shows for them, live performances, and show them some upcoming songs, and all that great stuff. So it's a great time, and it makes it feel more close to home when I can actually talk to my fans and they talk back and all that stuff.
I feel like it's an awesome compliment to the fans that can't make it to the shows, or for one reason or another, like that. I feel like in a way, you having the family situation and having that distance between them, it's more important to you than it would be somebody else doing it, because you understand. Again, you're in that position to understand, like that time is important, and spending time with those fans, even no matter where they are, is important. So that's really good on you.
Yeah, I owe it to the fans. If the fans aren't listening, then like there isn't. If they're not supporting, then like the whole thing isn't a thing. So I really feel like I have to owe it back. I always have to show love to my family of fans. I like to call my fans family, because we keep growing, and it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, all as one. So once you capture that aura, you just gotta continue the momentum. And like I said, I appreciate all my fans, everyone who streams all my stuff, supports, comments, likes. They're the reason why this is all a thing. I'm even on here today. So
I have so much respect for an artist who can take the time to treat their fans like family. And Antman, that's it. That's a conversation comes back full circle. It's kind of how we started with the show, talking about artists being able to give their time and making it more than just we're putting out music, and I respect that a lot with you. So
It's easier, I feel like, for artists, and this is where like I'm very straightforward when it comes to this stuff. Like I feel like artists, some of them are just like, hey, listen to my shit, bro. And then there's other ones that are like, no, like, here, like, listen to this, check this out, look at who I am, you know. And I think those are the artists that get more attention and take off faster because they care. It's genuine. It's not commercial. It's not cookie cutter. It's not founded by a bunch of people that aren't involved behind desks, you know?
Yeah, totally. Like if I always try and make the time. My day, I wake up and I could tell you what I do, I'm still in school. I'm taking 3 college classes that are 4,000 level classes because I'm about to graduate from like a pristine university. I go to the University of Central Florida down in Orlando, but I do it online. I'm taking 3 classes. I'm working a full-time career, full-time social media. I go live 2 to 3 hours every single day, on top of working out, trying to have fun, doing my other stuff, making videos, classwork, homework. And, I still make time because I know it's important and I have to pay it back. So, I always just tell myself that.
It's awesome. You got a lot going on and you're still going strong. And that's awesome. Definitely. And that's what I love about doing our show, man. We have this space that we can have amazing people on like Zuck here. We can let the world see who they are because they're more than just that person on, streaming through your headphones. They're more than that.
Yeah, it's not hey, look at my name, look how famous I am, look at whatever. It's like, hey, look at what we are doing. There's no I, me, anything. Like I feel like that's more of a syndrome. Like when we're talking about music, we're talking about all of it. It's like we, us, them, they, like I feel like that's the way to bring about creativity. If you got time to hate, you got time to create.
Yeah, exactly. If the whole industry, supported each other and backed up everybody, it would be a totally different industry. But it is very, like a lot of people are in for themselves there, but I always try and, help everyone I can.
How do you Zuck tackle it? Because you're a young guy, like no bullshit. Like you're a young dude, and social media and ladies and temptations and like all just the mental and the emotional, all of it. How how do you process some of those things? Going through them, because I'm sure there's somebody sitting at home like, man, I really love what this guy does, but like, I don't, so they're trying to emotionally get close to you to understand how you get through some of those things. How would you explain that to them?
I would say honestly, just through music is the best thing that I found to help me cope through situations, whether it was, you break up with your girlfriend or you're having a bad day, or I felt like I could always find myself back in rotation with either I'm writing music, I'm listening to music, I'm playing music. There's something that has to do with music that in certain situations it just uplifts me, and that's when I realized that like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, because it's the first thing that I ever say that I, besides my family, that I really like love more than sports. Or like I love playing sports, but like it's like a different love for like what I feel like when I make music or when I'm in a studio. It's the rush or being on stage, everything about it, like the lifestyle, being on stage, being just a people person, and like just everything about music, I feel like just keens to my senses. So I just find myself when I'm going through tough situations, either listening to music, writing music, and solving my problems through that. Or mainly, I have a pretty good support group of people, of friends, a couple close friends that I could always call, or my family. So if just depending on the situation. Now as far as temptations, obviously I'm like a 22-year-old kid, but I really realized, what I'm focused on right now, and what I have going on for me. And, I kind of put all the other bullshit aside and I just really grind. I was in school, I went to school, I was in fraternity, I bartended on campus. I lived the life of the party, and I had fun, and I know what it's like to party. So now I know what I want to do, and I know where I want my career to go, and I don't care about all the other stuff. And that was probably one of the biggest things for me, to take a step away from all the bullshit and really just focus on myself and
Hell
my
yeah.
career and tone all the back noise out. And that really just elevated me to a level that I feel like I'm above a lot of things that I were at before.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. That's exactly, I feel like that's where you have to be, it's so easy to trip like on anything.
Mhm.
So that's an awesome mindset, man. I commend you on having that mindset at such a young age, because Like more importantly, man, I commend the crew that surrounds you, because that right there, like that's something that's taught and showed and somebody. So like that's really awesome that you have a good crew, man. Really awesome. So that's commendable for you and your crew as well.
Yeah, I have a great team for sure behind me. They give a lot of great advice, a lot of great support. And that team is still, growing. And so it's incredible to have, some great mentors and people that, like I said, have, been in the industry for 50 years who, believe in me so much that are taking their time, to go out to lunch with me, to tell me about what I can do to further my career, or put me in this connection, or, hook me up with this person out of their own good sense because they believe in me. So it's a good feeling to have people in my corner right now, for sure.
I definitely tip my hat to you because of your age, and you have an old soul to you. You're smart, you're quick, you're amazing lyricist. You're blowing me away with your amazingness. Yeah. We have a music video that we wanted to share with the audience, and we've got some people in the chat room talking still about your Zoom call and saying how amazing it was, and that you're great to talk to. So
yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat right now, communicating, just sharing experiences and weighing in on stuff, man. Really awesome to see everybody in there. So definitely, when we come back, I want to talk to you about some of these singles that you have, and I want to talk about the writing process with you if you're down for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So I've got Strike a Pose here, and if you could kind of announce it and tell us a little bit about it before I play it, that would be great, and I'll go right into it after you're done.
Yeah, for sure. So Strike a Pose was the first song that I released in 2021 as a single. I shot the music video with one of my good friends, Justice Weber, out in Los Angeles. But Strike a Pose for me was the first song that I ever made that I was like, whoa, like this is something that like I haven't made before. Like this is different. So, and I recorded that probably back in November of 2020. And then sat on it for a little bit because I had some other projects that were going out. But that was when I really felt like I was changing my persona, my career of, melodies and harmonizing, and my writing skills improved tremendously. So I felt like that was like the first single that I ever really made that, took me in the direction that I felt like I wanted to go in.
119,000 on Spotify.
Nice. You are loved, Zuck. You are loved. All right, here is Strike a Pose by YNG Zuck. Enjoy.
Who was down on me? Yeah, who was down on me? Yeah.
D-Mark got that heat.
This is a song for the ones who was down on me. I'm the boss, CEO, now they envy me. Now they bumping on my music, I was proud to see. Take a pic, strike a pose, got me saying cheese. Got me riding through the city, I'm with a bad bitch. Remember all the nights I was working, didn't have shit. Now I'm on top, and I'm living lavish. Told them fuck school, I was skipping on my classes. I'm go and strike a pose. I was always moving fast and not slow. I'm on a money mission, what you wanna know? I told them nothing less than 50 for the show. Told them I'ma strike a pose. I'm on go. Catch me on a mission, ride out with my bros. I was always moving fast and not slow. And when we pull up to the city, let them know. Tell them I'ma strike a pose. Tell me you don't hate, see it in your eyes. Thought you were an angel, just the devil in disguise. Had to give it all I had. Tell my mama that I tried. Caught up in the mix, I was reading all your lies. My dog told me drop that shit, get your ass to the stew. And write another song if you down in the blues. I was down in my bag, got me popping all the blues. I'm running to the light like I'm breaking fights. Flashing at the sea, they on me. Man, I'm rolling off the molly with no sleep. I swear I've seen this up before in my dreams. I was working, didn't have shit. Now I'm on top, and you know I'm living lavish. Told them fuck school, I was skipping on my classes. Come on, go and strike a pose. I was always moving fast and not slow. I'm on a money mission, what you wanna know? I told them nothing less than 50 for the show. Told them I'ma strike a pose. I'm on go. Catch me on a mission right out with my bros. I was always moving fast and not slow. And when we pull up to the city, let them know. Tell them I'ma strike a pose. Tell them I'ma strike a pose. Tell them I'ma strike a pose.
Yo.
That's awesome. It's like glamorous in a way. I loved it. Everything about it. Especially the lyrics. Definitely says more in there. When you listen, there's a lot going on in the lyrics. So
Are you a fan of the new drone by chance? Because I was gonna buy that. I wasn't sure yet. That was a good idea. A good chance to ask you.
Yeah, they definitely have good shots, good footage.
Is it good? Nice.
Yeah, they're just dangerous to fly. Like my friend would fly them, and like I don't know, like they're sketch because they can like fall. Not for me. I just like performing and singing in front of them. But
No, that's fine. That's fine. I had to ask, man, because I recognized the goggles as soon as I saw them. I was like, oh, I gotta ask him how it is.
I didn't personally fly it, but my friend says it's really hard to fly, and that he always is worried about like hitting power lines or flying in airspace or something like that. He was telling me.
That's fair, bro. That's awesome video though, man, and I love, just the whole idea, man. Speeding through fast up, never let them sit down. That's what I get from your music, from every lyric to every tune I've put in. Don't let them sit down. Don't let their toe or finger, whatever, stop.
Mhm.
And
Totally.
so I was going through some of your music, man, and I love Strike a Pose. I wanted to ask you though about 17. That song sounds like it was something for you. Can you break it down for me?
Yeah, that song was just talking about what I wanted to do, and just working hard. It was just basically the simplest way for me to explain 17 was it was just about me. I felt like in my younger days, it was kind of a song talking about me growing up and trying to make a name for myself, and then getting older, and then kind of having an idea. And it's crazy to like think back and look, like two years ago when I wrote that song, that like I was talking about doing this stuff, and it's like now I'm actually doing that stuff. So it's definitely that was my thought process and of kind of where I was coming from with that song, and was just talking about my childhood basically.
Right on.
I like how lyrics can mean different things to different people, how they interpret them. And it's never the wrong. It's never ever in the wrong. It's just how they feel and how they interpret how they are feeling that song in their life at that moment. And I love all that it can do for people, and it's like therapy. It can help you through stuff. It's going to help whoever wrote the song. It's going to help the people listening to the song. It's just an amazing thing.
Yeah, I felt like especially with my new stuff now, everything I've recorded, ever since I started recording out in Los Angeles, with my engineer, King Luco. Shout out King Luco. I'm sure he's probably watching. He's an amazing engineer. Shout out HMG Studios. That's where I record at. They got like Snoop and Justin Timberlake, and everyone who performed at the halftime show goes there. So it's a great spot, with great people who really opened my mind and my ability that I felt like to put a sound out now. A lot of people haven't even heard my new stuff. I would say like I've dropped 2 things that I've recorded since I've been out in LA, just because we've been making this album. But the new stuff that we have is just so like next level. and like just really like mainstream and really I'm super excited. I wish I could drop it all like right now because I felt like I've been holding on to it and listening to songs for like 5, 6 months now. But I know that, giving it time and patience is gonna pay off, but it is for sure almost done. But my new stuff right now, just as far as lyrics and tempo and melodies and beats and people that I have on it is just such a step up from I think what everyone is expecting. Like I'm just super excited to start giving a little bit of taste when I can start dropping a couple singles and then it's go time.
Not that dude from Pennsylvania. That's exactly what like that's awesome, man. Like I'm not that dude.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, we're winding down towards the end of the show, and I want to know something that's coming from your heart, something that you can give the audience, they can walk away with, and it means something to them. So, what kind of advice would you give to anybody out there?
I would say the best advice that I ever had received was from my dad when he just told me never to be afraid to be yourself and just always be yourself. And every time I'm in a situation, I always just tell myself and remind myself that just to be myself and never to be anything that people want you to be or expect you to be or none of that because people are gonna like you, for who you are and what you have to offer and that was by far the best advice I've ever had, especially in my music career. In this industry, it's all about being genuine, and making connections and meaningful relationships, and not just bullshitting. I've talked to so many producers and this, and it's just it's just all talk. So not being afraid to put yourself out there and just to be yourself and especially to take risks. Never be afraid to take a risk. Even if that risk is crazy or is moving 3,000 miles away or it's doing things that you didn't think that you were possible of doing. You're not going to know what you're capable of unless you're pushing yourself. So I would say just those two things combined with just being yourself and really don't be afraid to take risks. If you spread your wings, you're going to fly. So that's probably my best advice that I can give to especially young and inspiring artists. Just really put yourself out there in a position. And there's a lot of people who are gonna, give you a lot of shit. A lot of people are gonna hate on you. I've been there. I've done that. I thought people were my friends, but they really weren't. I thought people liked me, but it's all, you're going to really learn who you are and, what you have to offer. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there in a position that you're vulnerable because a lot of people are afraid to do that. And that's what's going to separate you from other people.
100%.
So genuine and so true. And, I hear a lot of answers, and I gotta say yours, it's solid. So everybody needs to listen to Zuck here. He knows what he's talking about. He's got it going on. He's got the smarts. I'm gonna have you do a shout out to all of our people in the chat room because you've got some fans in there they adore you. So if you could just say hey to them.
Yeah, shout out all of my amazing fans, all the people who tuned in. I posted about it earlier. I posted some stuff about my story just today. So I appreciate all the love and support. All my people out there who always are streaming all my music, coming in my lives, showing love. Y'all are what makes all this possible. So appreciate it greatly and dearly. So stay tuned. Lots of big stuff coming up. I'm
And
excited.
where do we find you at?
So you guys can find me on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, anything you can think of. Just type in YNG Zuck at Young Zuck. Can be a space in between, can be one word. Google knows what's up. They're gonna show you. They're gonna point you the right direction, or whatever you're gonna see, it's gonna come up. So go check me out on there. Go show some love. Go keep streaming all my stuff. Lots of new songs, new album, Expensive Taste is gonna come this year for sure. New music videos, lots of shows. So a lot of big things in the works.
Awesome. I appreciate you being here, sharing the space with us, and showing us who you are and what you're about. And I admire you a lot for all that, for who you are, what you do. And I want everybody to go check him out because he's a great guy, great artist, great lyricist. So fly on over there and check him out if you haven't already.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you, Zuck, man. I appreciate you for your time, man. Definitely.
I dreamed of doing stuff like this when I started, especially in the industry. So it's cool to be able to see my dreams, follow out. And I appreciate you guys having me. I'm excited to be back.
Oh yeah, dude, I want you back for the new album, man, because there's a whole lot of shit that can happen between now and that album and beyond. So I'd love to keep up with you, man. And I don't know what you do exactly on your time frames on TikTok, but we do a bunch of like battling for fundraising for causes and stuff on TikTok. So maybe I'll get your info and get you in on that if you want to jump in on that for some community stuff.
Yeah, I would love to support a great cause. I'll get in touch with my manager and have all that sent over to you.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks, Zuck.
Yeah, thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night.
All right. You too. Later.
Yeah, see ya.
Awesome show. Awesome.
At the end of the day, when I look back and I think about like what I do and what I've done in my life, like I want to be able to like look at things and be able to say, hey, I did this and hey, I did that, but I also want to be able to look back and be like, hey, you know what? I did that and that didn't work. And, I totally am behind Zuck and his crew 100% because they acknowledge the youngness, embrace the oldness, and stay focused to the brightness.
True. Couldn't have said it better. Wow.
And I think that's like that would be my thought of the night. Like that would be if you were to ask me what my thought from tonight's show would be, that would be my thought. Would be like it's a cool balance, and it's really nice to see somebody at such an age. And I know we've hammered on a lot like how young he is, and I feel like shit for doing that because I want to like broaden it and bring it around to like this is a human being, but in the music industry, it's really hard. There's like a certain level I feel like that comes with like, oh well, he's young, no. So it's really good to see that,
It's very invigorating. Yeah.
Yeah. And as somebody older, like I have these misconceptions of millennials. Okay. Millennials in my area, millennials in my city.
Yeah.
Like we'll start there, So it's really awesome to see that education level, that mindset, that work, that drive, all of it, man. Like I expect this dude to succeed till the max, at least, and within what he expects to succeed with, I should say.
He's definitely got the mindset for it and the capabilities. And I'm sitting here thinking, I wish I had that intelligence. And then when I was his age, I was kind of stupid when I was his age. And a lot of people can probably say that. And he's already got it down. He's got it.
I was not. Nope, not me.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, you know what? Man, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Megan and Kayla and Mina. Make sure I didn't kill that name. I'm so sorry. If I did, don't punch me. Thank you guys so much for coming in and sharing and supporting Zuck and us. And please hit that share, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. We have a bunch of cool stuff every week. But man, this was a killer show tonight. I can't wait. We have a whole bunch of new shit coming up. I want to give a shout out to More Than Never. They're coming up on the show in the next couple of weeks. Dread Engine's gonna be here. We've got
Raven Black. We've got the Unheard.
Yeah,
we've got so many great bands coming your way. So
this is gonna be it. Like this is a spot you're gonna want to be here every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna have to write down the other time zones and put them on my computer, because every time I go to promote our show, I forget we're in the East Coast, but people watch us from all different time zones. So I got to make sure I have that right here, like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pacific, like, because I suck.
We all have areas we suck. It's all good. All good. We'll let this one slide.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank W4CY, Talk 4 TV, Music Familia Productions, and Standout Serpents for making this show happen. And we got a great crew too. So everybody has great crews. Have that support. Be awesome and stay amazing. We'll see you next week.
Mwah.